Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me here again. Today I'm going to make a very short video on pest control. I certainly am not an expert on this subject. In fact, I've owned houseplants for almost 10 years and I've never really had a pest issue before because I've only had, prior to this year, I've only had less than 10 houseplants. So it was really never a problem for me before. But now that I've had over 130 houseplants, it's something that I really want to be mindful of. So this is my routine and what I do to help keep pests away from my home. So first of all, I think prevention is the most important thing. And prevention starts by before you bring a plant home from the nursery. When you're at the garden center or whatever plant that you're considering taking home, it's really important to take a really good look at the leaves, the health of the plant, the soil. Just take a look at all the nooks and crannies of the plant when you're at the nursery. And not just the plant itself, but also maybe look around the plant to see if there are signs of pests around. I think it goes a really long way. When you bring infested plant home, it could really easily infest the rest of your houseplants. So I remember one time I picked up a calathea and I noticed that there were holes on the leaves, and I didn't really think much of it, and I brought it home. And then finally one day when the new leaf, it's kind of like a tube, when the new leaf unfurled, it was just a huge mess of infestation inside the leaf. I think it was just a caterpillar, maybe a bunch of caterpillars. So it wasn't a big, it wasn't a really bad pest, but I think had I paid more attention to the health of the leaves, I would clue in that maybe something was wrong to the health of the plant. Maybe there was a bug somewhere in the plant, and I would probably look more carefully. One plant that's really easy to have mealybug infestation is the Hoya Hinduro compacta. The leaves are really kind of compacted, so bugs could really easily hide in there, and you can't really see it when you're looking at it. So really important to look carefully at the plant before bringing it home. Try to choose a very healthy plant to bring home to. That would be number one, my number one for preventing pests. The second thing that I do, so it's about prevention. I don't wait for the plant to show signs of bugs. Every single time I water my plant, which is about between a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the how moist the soil is, I always use a moisture meter to check. So it's never really by time, it's by exactly how dry it is. Every time I water my plant, I would spray afterwards with this mixture. What is this mixture? It's everybody have heard about this. This is the neem oil mixture. So what I do is, for this little bottle, you don't even use a whole teaspoon of neem oil, probably a little bit less than that, but maybe you should check online the exact ratio, maybe about quarter or a teaspoon to a liter of water, roughly around that. So this is another neem oil. I just want to show you. Neem oil comes like pretty solid, so before you want to use it, I would, what I do is I microwave some water and then put it in warm water for it to, for the soil, solidified soil to liquefy. So, and then I'll put some water in here, maybe fill it to here so there's some room for me to shake it. And I also mix it with some insecticide soap. This is a concentrate form, so I use very little bit, and then I just shake it up. And every single time I water my plants, I will, afterwards, I will just spray the leaves, under the leaves, all the stems, and on the roots. This is quite a good way to treat and prevent pests, a lot of household insects. Another thing that I just started using, my friend suggested for me to do, is to use this, I don't know how to pronounce it, diatomaceous earth. To sprinkle this on top of dry soil. It will only work if the surface is dry. I think it does something to the hard shells of the insects. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but using some of that sprinkling on the dry soil could also go a really long way too. And then every time you water your soil, wait for it to dry again and then reapply. It doesn't look really good, so I think it's kind of a above and beyond measure. Maybe when you've already found pests, or if you really want to be very careful. But usually I think applying the neem oil treatment should be pretty good enough, maybe. It's hard to say, but definitely much better than if you don't do it. Yeah, there are other methods of preventing pests. I think people use diluted hydrogen peroxide solution. I've never tried it. I heard that it wouldn't hurt the plant, but because I've never had a bug infestation yet, so I haven't had to gone with really kind of drastic measures. So yeah, so this is what I do. Some people say plants are usually weaker during the change of season, maybe. So it's more important to be applying this preventative method or treating method during that time. But I really just apply it every single time I water my plants. One thing to be mindful of is that the neem oil could after the plants have had the neem oil solution applied on them, it's very easy for the sun to damage the leaves. So make sure to keep the plants away from direct sunlight or really bright light until the solution is dried up. I usually just keep it where I water it until maybe it's later in the day when the sun is not as intense. So that's what I do. Thank you again for watching. I will see you again soon.